Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Taylor Johnson with Keller Williams Capital Properties, and I'm here interviewing Matt Borgerson today with First Home, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the Maryland Mortgage Program. Hello, Matt.
Hey, Taylor. Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Excellent. So tell us a bit about yourself and First Home.
Yeah, so Matthew Borgerson with First Home Mortgage. I've been with First Home since 2014, one of the largest down payment assistance lenders in DC and in Maryland. I personally do about 5 to 6 down payment assistance loans per month, so very familiar with the programs.
Excellent. So does that mean that you have your own down assistance programs as well?
We are what's called a private correspondent lender, which means we lend our own money. But the correspondent part means we can work in conjunction with any program out there. So we don't have our own programs like some banks do, but we can work in conjunction with all the state programs. So Maryland Mortgage Program is a big one that we'll touch on today.
I see. Okay, excellent. So why don't you give us kind of an overview of that program? How does it work and who qualifies?
So Maryland Mortgage Program is a down payment assistance program built for those that have the necessary credit, have the necessary income to qualify for a mortgage, but we live in a high-priced area. It's tough to save money. So the program is there to help those that need the extra boost that down payment covered. They will help you with that minimum down payment required to buy your first home. Now, there are some income limits and loan limits. The loan limit is $548,250. So the big mortgage cannot go up that loan limit. And then income limits vary by county, but in the close to DC counties, Montgomery, PG County, the income limit is $151,250 or $151,200, and that is household income that we would need to qualify you.
So basically 151,000, say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So a household income, that means you've got the two wage owners in the house, both of them combined.
Correct. Yes. Yep. We need to look at the household income, even if just one of you are on the mortgage. In Maryland, their limit is household.
Okay. Excellent. And also, just kind of to recap what you said, basically, if I qualify for making the payment and getting the mortgage, then this program will help me with the money for the down payment that I might not have been able to save up in this high rent area.
That is correct. Yes. So conventional financing requires 3% down. FHA financing requires 3.5% down. Maryland Mortgage Program has a couple different options within the program. One is a 3% down payment assistance loan, meaning it's a lien attached to your property, so you do need to pay it back, but it doesn't accrue interest and you do not need to make payments on it. So you would likely just pay it back when you sell your home. Now that is a loan. They also have grant programs. The interest rate's a little bit higher for the big mortgage, but there's also a 3% grant, which means it's forgiven at closing. And essentially your rate's a little bit higher, so you're kind of paying them back over time. And there's also a 4% grant, even higher of a monthly payment with that little bit higher interest rate, but you're getting a little bit more money at closing to help maybe with some of the closing costs as well.
Interesting. Okay, so you can choose a grant or a loan, lower interest rate or higher interest rate. Of course, the interest rate is going to affect your monthly payment.
Right.
What would be some of the advantages of going one way or the other?
It's really personal preference. I always present all three to my clients. I provide a nice color-coded comparison sheet so that the clients can see kind of a menu of financing that they have to choose from. And then I just kind of help what's important to them. If that extra 1% is important and they're okay with it, paying a couple $100 more per month, then we go with the 4% grant because it's just kind of a way to finance even more of the cost to buy a home into your monthly payment.
Right. Excellent. And in that case, if you got the grant and then you refinanced in 4 years, there's no implication to you. Whereas if you took the loan, the non-interest loan, when you refinance, then you have to pay that off. Is that correct?
That is exactly correct. Yes, the grant is exactly that, a grant. So it's forgiven at closing. The loan, while it does come with a lower interest rate, is always there. So you do need to pay that back, whether it's when you refinance or when you sell your home.
Okay. So that might be another thing to think about is like, what is the person's time frame on how they're going to use this, right?
Exactly. Yep.
And now the residence also needs to be your primary residence, right?
It definitely has to be your primary residence. And when it ceases to become your primary residence, if you went the loan route, you are supposed to pay that loan back. So it is only for primary residence only.
Right. So if you're somebody who was thinking of buying a house and living in it and fixing it up, and then in a couple of years buying another house and living in that and fixing it up, kind of thing, and using this program to get you started, then the loan might not be the best option.
Correct. Yeah, the grant would probably be a better option for you in that case.
But you can only use it for your first time purchase. What if you've already owned property in Maryland? Can you use this program?
It's a 3-year rule. We're collecting 3 years of tax returns to see if you've owned a home in the last 3 years. So if you owned a home 5, 6, 7 years ago and sold it, we're just checking 3 years of tax returns. So in Maryland Mortgage Program's eyes, you are a first-time home buyer if you pass that 3-year rule.
Got it. And is that's a property anywhere or only in Maryland?
It is a property anywhere, and it's even land. If you inherit a farm out in Iowa and you own that farm, unfortunately, you do not qualify for the program.
Really?
Crazy. Yes.
Wow.
I've had that happen before.
What about land overseas?
Any
land?
Yeah, the rule is any property owned.
Okay. Do you have to be a citizen to use the program?
You do not need to be U.S. citizen. You have to have working papers in the U.S. Visa to be able to use the program.
Okay, that's great. So it's a pretty flexible program, and that sounds like a great advantage.
Yeah.
Are there any other programs that you can use in combination with it? Like could you use? I know that HUD has there's Fannie Mae Home Path programs to help folks buy houses at below market rates. Can they use the Maryland Mortgage with those too?
Yes, we can combine with other programs like that. Not all programs. Like first one that comes to mind is renovation programs. We cannot combine a renovation loan with a down payment assistance loan. But for the most part, we can combine multiple programs as long as they're easy to work. Will work well together and be able to get the buyer to the closing table.
Excellent. Do you know enough to give an overview on the Fannie Mae or HUD programs? I think they are more common out in Maryland than they are in DC. So it might actually be something that somebody could look at.
Yeah, I think you're just talking about property lower.
Like Home Path is a below market rate, and then there's HUD, neighbor next door, or something like that.
Yeah, those aren't really loan programs. Those are just lower.
They're more on my side of the deal, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure that Fannie Mae and HUD, they'll put out a list of all the properties that are available in that, that they make.
And they target certain areas as well. Yep.
Right. Does not affect the loan at all, though. We treat it as a normal purchase.
Okay. Excellent. So is there anything else that folks should know if they're looking into this program? How do they find out more information?
One thing to know is there's no extra hoops to jump through. We can set up a one-on-one consultation call. I can talk through all the programs that are available, your specific financial situation, what I believe you'll get pre-approved for, the formula we use to get there. And then after that, it's just a simple application, collect a few documents to verify what we spoke about on that first call. And boom, you are pre-approved for the program. You can start looking for a home, and the only extra hoops are jump through or to sign a few extra disclosures after you go under contract.
Great. Does the Maryland Mortgage require any sort of a counseling program on the side like some other programs in DC do?
There is an online education course, but
okay.
There's no in-person, 6-week training course that you have to take advantage of this down payment assistance program.
Excellent. All right. So Matt, what's the best way for folks to reach you if they want more information?
So my email address is M as in Matt, Borgerson, BORGERSON @first, FIRST, home, HOME.com. Or my cell phone is probably the easiest way to get in touch with me is 610-324-5488. A call or email works best, and we can discuss your situation and get your ducks in a row.
Great. And I can tell you folks that Matt is always available, and he's very, very approachable and easy to talk to and ask questions. And he knows his stuff.
I'm a big proponent of education. So that is why I work with a lot of first-time home buyers. I wish there was a college course to teach us all about mortgages, but there isn't one that I know about. So that's kind of what I model my business after is education and knowledge is power. And that's what I like to provide for people.
Excellent. Right. Well, and again, my name is Taylor Johnson. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Capital Properties. I'm based here in Washington, D.C. I can service Maryland and Virginia as well. And I live in PG County, actually. So I know PG County pretty well and Montgomery County. So the Maryland Mortgage Program is certainly relevant for our area. And if you want to reach me, gtaylorsells.homes@gmail.com or 202-763-2483. And you can even go to my webpage, taylor.engarcia.com. All right, Matt, thanks very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Taylor.
All right.